Good afternoon, everyone, all the viewers, delegates, participating organizations, along with their presenters and our judges. Very good afternoon and a welcome to the session on service category, session 5. And I hope this also is interesting, definitely, for all of us. But before I begin this session, some pointers to all our viewers. If for any reason you're disconnected, you can join in by entering your meeting ID and password, and the host will allow in entry. You are requested to use a headphone with mic for better clarity. Once you enter the session, we request you to be, we would be placing you on mute while with your video on off mode. All the presentations will be following the sequence that's been mentioned during broadcast. Audiences can ask questions via the chat mode. Before we bring to you our judges, the presenters and their organization, we would like to play an interesting video message from Mr. Ratin Khandadia, Associate Director of Global Center Education Excellence. He's also been an examiner with us for the more than 10 years and leading teams and guiding organizations. So he is invaluable to our process. Thank you so much, Ratin. May I have the video played, please?
Good morning, Neeraj Bajaj sir, Suresh Lulla sir, Mr. Ashish Vaidya, Maya Desai, entire IMC RBNK Trust team members, and my friends. It's been more than a decade now being associated with IMC RBNQA, both as an applicant as well as an examiner. Every cycle has given enormous learning at personal and professional level to challenge our own limits and capabilities. Every time IMC RBNK model and its implementation has taught new aspects of real life. An example is this virtual MQH session demonstrating agility at its best. For more than a decade now, IMC and GIS has also very successful, productive, and indispensable relationships. GIS has embedded the IMC RBNK core values and concepts in its beliefs and behaviors, with which we call Mahatma, to become a high performance organization. There were numerous instances where IMC's knowledge, guidance, and expertise was critical in achieving our corporate objectives. IMC was able to supply the required knowledge in our areas of interest that focused on appropriate and cost-effective services, supporting important investment decisions too. The OFIs from IMC, RBNQA, and other prestigious assessment bodies are compiled and monitored rigorously through a project called Act Now at each of our GIS campus. And we make sure that action plans are put in place to achieve the overall organizational success. This non-prescriptive and very much adaptable criteria and concept of business excellence has paved way for GIS in nurturing continuous improvements through breakthrough innovations. GIS undertook conscious steps to instill efficiency and effectiveness in its management process, operational methodologies, and curriculum delivery. This not only enabled GIS to internalize a process-driven culture and a customer centricity, but also synchronize and replicate strong operational practices across its campuses worldwide. IMC RBNQA has always recognized GIS benchmark quality practices for imparting well-rounded and holistic education, nurturing young minds for a better tomorrow. In this endeavor in encouraging and supporting organizations in their business excellence journey, I wish the entire IMC RBNQA team a great success in years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ratin, for the wonderful message. So we begin the service category. Today we have our judges, Ms. Suman Pai, who's a trainer, writer, and speaker, and faculty for the IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj Quality Award Trust. Hello, Suman. How are you?
Hello.
How are you? Very warm
Good.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time to judging this session on service.
Right? Oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah, thank you. We also have with us Mr. Ramagowda Patil, Head and Promoter, Senior Consultant, ISEEE, Integrated Services, Enabling and Enhancing Excellence. Hi Ram, how are you?
Hi, all good, Maya.
Yeah, Ram is also a wonderful examiner with us, and he leads teams, and over the years he has guided organizations. Thank you so much for your support, and today being with us, we truly appreciate Ram.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The entire IMC have been here too. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so let's look forward to an interesting session with all our presenters and their presentations. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so today we have around 5 organizations in the service category. We begin with Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited, Mumbai. We have with us as presenters Ms. Siddhi M. Varang, Chief Manager. Hello Siddhi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. A very warm welcome to the MQH 2.0 program, and thank you for your participation.
Thank you very much.
So we have with us also from the organization Ms. Pooja Gulwani, Senior Manager.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. Good afternoon. Nice to see you, Pooja.
Same here.
And hope you have you'll have a great presentation. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we will be now playing your presentation for the judges, and thereon we proceed with the other aspects. Thank you so much. May we have the presentation of Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited, Mumbai. Here I would like to mention that if you see any technical hitches, please bear with us. That could be a part of some connectivity issue. Thank you so much.
Good morning, jury. This is Siddhi Varang and Pooja Gulwani from Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers, and together we are presenting to you a very unique improvement initiative taken under the Employee Benefits Servicing Department. Let us give you a glimpse of what is EB Servicing Department. It is the employee benefits vertical that manages corporate health insurance for EBG employees and market clients. The total lives managed by this team are around 6 lakhs. EB Vertical was formed in 2011, and since then it has been a journey towards customer delight. One of the unique things about this team is innovation and superior solutions. Our team manages around 13,000 endorsements and 45,000 claims per year, with more than 1 lakh query solutions that we receive from our customers. This requires consistent efforts in terms of coordination with client, insurer and timely processing of data, and systematic processing of the information received from them. In order to have the perfect balance in all three, process re-engineering and automation were the solutions which the team felt is important, and basis which the complete automation index In order to have the perfect balance in all three, process re-engineering and automation were the solutions which the team felt is important, and basis which the complete automation index derivation exercise was conducted for EB servicing team in a structured and an organized manner. Automation was need of the hour because from the cycle time study, we realized that the entire process was at an automation index of nearly 5% with around 95% of manual intimations, and work was absolutely prone to errors and redundancy. Besides, this was also acting as a deterrent to scaling up and building capacity to cater to higher volumes. And therefore, we decided that we should use robotic process automation as the technology for us to scale up and climb the ladder faster and efficiently. Noteworthy to mention that in the unforeseen COVID days also, the endorsement process is the only process which is running seamlessly with absolutely no manual intervention till date, ever since the entire country went into a lockdown. A quick summation of the results that we have achieved is we have almost reached up to 70% of automation index and achieved close to 76% with a better throughput and processing time with least manual interventions. This automation has enabled us to create a capability to handle larger volumes and establish a competitive edge. The smart EB bot can execute more than one live labs in a span of 15 minutes, right from massaging to systemic processing through UI automation, which is an absolute industry benchmark. None of the brokers thought when we at ABIBL did this. And you'll be very happy to know that we are future ready for integration with key insurance players as well. Agile software. From approach and deployment perspective, we had used Agile software development lifecycle model to work on the entire process. We created a cross-functional brainstorming team that worked on defining the baseline AI and identify potential areas of automation. The team broke the entire process into several phases and constantly collaborated with stakeholders and continuous improvement, and worked on timely and continuous iterations at every stage. This actually enabled us to have design fixations right at the time when it actually occurred and had no impact on the turnaround time. The development was also done in a very structured methodology on the Automation Edge platform, and we had also established a strong and a robust process governance framework which ensured timely intervention during delays or slippages in the implementation timelines, if any. And you may feel surprised that throughout the entire journey of automation, there were barely any scope creeps because the requirement was taken in such a manner that scope creep was something that we already took care of. The design of the process is also very user-friendly and configuration-based so that the workflow can be amended in the future at any point in time without any hassles. A quick secret that I would like to tell you here is that ABIBL is also planning to build their internal robotic process automation workforce to be able to cater to these changes without being dependent on the external service provider, the external teams as well. This project was implemented in phases, and phase-wise go-live was also done with entire support during transition phase. Noteworthy to mention, post-successful transition, the process was further refined and re-engineered to cater to the process variances and exceptions in the formats as well. Once we received the sign-off from the UAT stakeholders, production deployment plan was designed, pilot launch for few insurers was done on production to ensure that the bot functionality is working as per expectations. And post-successful pilot launch, automation functionality was made operational for pan-India for all insurers, and there the bot, the Supreme Optimus, originated as one of the key eye catchers for Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers. This comes with complete process monitoring and controls very clearly established. Our Optimus bot sends daily processing dashboards to the processing owners. The team actually measures the process performance basis these periodic dashboards. We are also conducting random process audits and reviews on sample endorsements to check the accuracy of the bots. And you will definitely not be surprised if we tell you that the bot works at 100% accuracy with the logics that have been predefined in the bot performance. dashboards. The standard RPA dashboards are also designed to ensure optimum tracking of the usage of the application and the robots, and this process comes with absolutely clearly mapped RACI metrics that enables accountability and smooth operational flow at the end of the day. Today, Siddhi and I and our entire team is extremely proud to state that this is an industry benchmark automation, and we are the first ones to automate our core employee servicing process through RPA. The very smart bot Optimus runs 24/7 and has a capacity to produce and process nearly 1 lakh lives in a short span of 15 to 20 minutes, and that improves our scalability, and that gives us the confidence that in the future we can process higher volumes. The RPA has also increased the team's capability to manage higher volumes with absolutely no increase in manpower, and we are also working on taking the automation index higher. This year's plan includes incorporation in inbuilting an OCR and extracting data directly from the insurer statements and having a better robust process. The RPA-enabled process will become a gateway for the insurance integration in the coming future. Since COVID lockdown, everybody speaks about development, digitization, automation, working from home. So the design of the RPA that we have done over here is absolutely flexible in nature. The development can be done in any corner of the world, be it India, be it Dubai, be it the United States of America. And we have also planned to develop our in-house capability to cater to the RPA developments in the future, thereby making the process robust and quick. Siddhi Varang and Pooja Gulwani, thank you, and we are very eager to get more opportunities to be able to present and showcase various innovations that Aditya Birla Insurance Broker and the EB servicing team are doing. Hope you take a good care. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siddhi and Pooja, for the wonderful presentation. We will now move on to Dr. Mini Panikar, founder, and Ms. Amisha, operations head from Sahabha, Mumbai. May I request the spotlight on to Dr. Mini Panikar? Hello, Mini and Amisha. How are you all? I think you can unmute yourself, please.
Ma'am, we can't hear.
Yeah, now I can hear. No, it's still not audible. I think your audio is not. Oh, huh.
Yeah, your audio is not clear.
Yeah, now yes, Mini. It's not audible. Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Now we can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I said, hello everybody once again. Good afternoon, and I'm very proud to have to present the small clip that we have made for you. My team is here, me and Kausar.
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome. And wish you the best for your presentation. So
thank you.
We will now play the presentation. Yeah.
Yes.
May I request the Sahabha Mumbai presentation to be played?
Namaskar, I'm Dr. Mini Panikar and I'm the founder of Sahabhav. I take this chance to thank IMCRB and QA for giving me this opportunity to display the best practices at Sahabhav.
Sahabhav is a startup because we're the first premium old age in Mumbai city. It was launched in February 2019 and we gave it an element of luxury to make it different. So the 14 residents at Sahabhav get the following: the care and love of a home, the clinical monitoring of a geriatric hospital, and the feel and ambience of a luxurious hotel. The objective was to add life to their ears rather than ears to their life. There's a small clip I wish to play to demonstrate this. Let us continue with the presentation. In order to benchmark it with the hotel industry, we compare it with the 4 main services of the hotel industry, which are number 1, food and beverage, lodging, recreation, and travel and tourism. And we shall now see how we incorporate it into Swabhav. Under food, while keeping the nutritional requirements in mind, we have tried to keep the food as much varied and enjoyable as possible. We serve veg and non-veg food. What we have taken from the hotel industry is the fine bone china cutlery that we serve in and the way the food is served to them. Under lodging, the look of the rooms are exactly like that of a hotel. As you can see, we have twin sharing rooms with lovely upholstered beds. The rooms are air conditioned with a television, a cupboard and a foldable table. They are clutter free, avoiding the chances of a fall. Under recreation, we incorporate fun-filled activities in the daily lives of the residents. From playing games that we played as children, like Name Place Animal Thing, Antakshari and memory games, we make them paint, make cards for their children, sing songs and even dance. Under travel, Swabhav is a unique activity where we take all the residents for a monthly outdoor trip in specially designed hired vans. We took them to Shilpagram, which is a unique botanical garden with a musical fountain in Jogeshwari, to Worli Seaface, where most of them watched the sunset after many years, and during Diwali we took them to a fine dining restaurant, and that also was a delightful experience for them. At Swabhav, we monitor the following activities. The feedback from residents, which we initially take discreetly, but once they get familiar with us, they give us feedbacks directly. Feedback from families, because they speak to the residents over the phone. We send weekly reports to the families with regard to their health, their activities, etc. And we also do assisted video calls to the children who live abroad. Daily rounds are taken by operations head, who not only checks the cleanliness of the room and the changing of the linen, but also takes feedback from the residents at that point of time. We are a 5-member core committee that meet every week to discuss health issues, upcoming events, menu charts and entry of new residents. There was a time when people would think that keeping their parents in an institute was a stigma, but here children are proud to say that their parents are at Swabhav, and this is a disruptive result by itself. Our service deliveries are unique and yet has the human touch. I am proud to state that most old age homes have shut during these COVID times, but we have been taking care of our residents in spite of all the odds. One of our biggest achievements has been that a couple of seniors who had come to stay with us as a temporary stay wanted to come back to us, and we take that as a huge compliment. Here is a snapshot of a couple of our Google reviews to show you our Google rating. We have over 65 reviews so far. Coming to results, we have classified them into those in healthcare and those of the services of a hotel. Our 3 main caring objectives are safety, nutrition, and hygiene. Under safety, we mainly monitor falls, bed sores, and injuries. We accordingly treat these. Under nutrition, senior citizens often suffer from electrolyte imbalances, changing sugar levels, etc. We have an in-house lab that captures all this and therefore can treat immediately. One of our biggest achievements is of a gentleman who joined us in March 2020 with a hemoglobin level of 7.2. We gave him an iron-rich diet along with oral supplements, and his hemoglobin levels are 10.3 in May 2020, which is a remarkable result. The cleanliness chart is self-explanatory. These are the scores given by the residents. These are the scores given by the residents for food. The first scoring is that of a gentleman who was a hotelier himself, and even by his strict standards, these are the scores given to us. These are the scores for the ambience of the rooms. These are the scores for the entertainment, which includes the in-house activities and the outdoor trips. I finally wish to show you a snapshot of the comparative slide between a 4-star hotel located in Andheri East, which will charge at least 4,500 per day, and Sahabab, which charges 3,000 per day. The hotel will only serve bed and breakfast and give the linen and toiletries, whereas at Sahabab, you have your food, stay, laundry, medical care, doctor visits, blood tests, in-house games, outdoor trips, and many more. Just like a hotel, the client in Sahabab only needs to come with their clothes. We provide linen that are used by 5-star hotels and toiletries that includes oils and powders. In entertainment, we have yoga classes, dance classes, Bhagavad Gita classes, art and craft, and many more to keep you entertained. So in short, Sahabab is still an affordable stay when compared to a hotel stay, but while we serve much more. Before I conclude, I wish to play a testimonial given by Chand Malhotra, whose 97-year-old mother lives with us since April 2019.
Sahabab is a second home to me. It is such a beautiful place because of all the love that is given over here by each and everyone. Not only Ami and Dr. Mini, who are the main people who are running this organization, but it is each and everyone down to the last girl who is the cleaner woman over here. They're all amazing. You notice that among all the children, I call them children now because they are no more adults and old people. They're all back to their young days. They are all so happy. They're all eating food. They're laughing. They're smiling. And that's what I want to say about this beautiful place. And I would recommend it to anybody in India because I think it is one of the top homes. I wouldn't call it a home as for old people, but I would rather say that it's a retirement home for most of the people, that they can come here and enjoy themselves.
I thank you very much for your time and patience. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mini, for that wonderful and touching presentation. A very lovely approach for the second inning phase of our life. We will now move on to Reliance Nippon Insurance Company Limited, Mumbai. We have with us as presenter Mr. Srinivasan, CT, Head Infrastructure and Procurement. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us here today. Good afternoon.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure to present here. I would like to greet the jury and wish all the participants very best. I'm looking forward. One thing is guaranteed today. The learning is definitely guaranteed today.
Oh, lovely, sir.
I'm thoroughly enjoying. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we'll move on to your presentation. May I request for the presentation to be played of Reliance Nippon Insurance Company Limited.
A very warm welcome to all the e-participants and the distinguished jury members. On behalf of Reliance Nippon Life Insurance, I welcome you to this best practice presentation on energy conservation. My name is Srinivasan and I head the infrastructure and procurement for RNLIC. First things first. To give a brief introduction of the company, RNLIC is a private life insurance company with joint venture partner Nippon, Japan. We have a strong network of 727 branches with an annual sales of more than 4,300 crores and our current asset under management is about 20,000 crores. I take pride in sharing out of our 727 branches, 200 branches are 100% manned by women employees. And today, we are one of the top 3 most trusted life insurance service brands. Moving on the origination of the best practice, there are 6 reasons that drove these best practices. Number 1, branch upkeep on timely basis without increasing further cost. That was an ask from the executive management. Number 2, help risk costs to be significantly reduced for root causes. Number 3, sustainability of the board requirement had to be addressed. The sustainability requirement, I mean. And number 4, it has to be a proven and a shareable type of practice. And number 5, it has to be a simple ideas that could be perceived and implemented. And last but not the least, the triple constraint has to be managed of time, people, and money. We had these constraints to implement the project. Let us now review the summary of the best practice. Out of the 727 branch network, various electrical appliances were utilized like signages, tube lights, ACs, DGs, IT hardware, etc. This best practice is not about to find the vital few and optimizing the power consumption, but to optimize the devices in the complete ecosystem of the branch, including DG and water coolers. How do we get a solution for optimizing for the complete ecosystem? It's all about this best practice. The first question we asked when we started working on this best practice was, how do you measure the project apart from the traditional approach of energy bills measurements? That was the first question which hit our minds. Based on our Intel research, RNLAC explored the guidelines of International Institute of Sustainability and derived a measure how 1 unit of power saving can be converted into carbon emission, water saved, and savings of tree. Basis this data was inputted in the platform for measurement. Let us now explore the solution that was deliberated at RNLAC. We mapped the complete devices against used hours and consumption to identify vital few and tribal money. While air conditioners were lower in numbers, but they consumed high power. While desktops were consuming lower power, their scale was significantly high. To summarize, there was no one common thread where this problem could be resolved. So we had to have a solution for each of the devices based on cost, effort, and time. So also it was very imperative that the solution, whatever we were exploring, one, it should solve the present devices power consumption. Also, we should take care of the future devices if it is added in the branches, if any. Now let us explore the solution that was deliberated on RNLAC. And after multiple iterations, proof of concept and exploring the solution that match our need, RNLAC came with the following list. For desktops, deployed Vigyan Lab software which optimizes power consumptions of computers. For ACs, we deployed Aircon Savers which optimizes power consumption without impacting the performance. For lighting, moved systematically from traditional lamps, lights to LEDs. For diesel generator, leveraged the Urda Mitra app of the current government and reduced based on the stable power grids. For water coolers, we moved from the traditional water coolers to the ROUV based water purifiers, and all the solution investments, the ROI was less than 12 months. It is also imperative that now we examine the implementation takes considering of the existing electrical appliance and what future changes it's going to happen. Basis that what we did is AC specs we revised from the current 3-star to 5-star. That is, any purchase future ACs has to be 5-star ACs, and the incremental cost gets addressed in the saving of the AC. And for PC and desktops, we said we will not buy tower PCs and will move to the NUC model or the setup box. Like this, we identify various strategies and revise the product specs for which were bought in the ongoing basis so that to address future problem apart from addressing the current problem. To test the measure of success, we had 3 types of approach. One is a platform, which already discussed, where a platform input is given and the platform is measuring the power saving in terms of desktops and platform and laptops. And number 2, energy bills also was an effective method of tracking the measure of success. We are deployed on the top 50 branches, IoT, Internet of Things, where by the way we could track the abuse of power in these branches. And lastly was on the GL spend. Once we knew and understood the watertight measurement method, we moved to the implementation phase. We adapted to the 5 stages of project management approach and went into phased approach instead of big bang approach so that the glitches, the original setup could be rolled back without impacting branches. The project execution was carried across the zones and with the zonal admin managers with every touch point tracks for progress, and implementation was signed off by subject matter experts at the zones for effectiveness. So now let us review some of the monitoring strategies of the best practice. We tested the deployed monitoring measurement of them and found all of them were effective. We also examined all the measure of success, okay, and effective for meaningful conclusion. For example, the platform for PCs, IoT for abuse, and GL trend for overall efficiency. We also initiated a certification process to check how is our measurement, and it was certified by one of the big four that our measurement was 99% accurate, and 2 internal audits certified also for this effectiveness. Let us now evaluate the results. We have saved annual of 3.6 crores for the year 1920, cutting of trees avoided by 9649, carbon emission reduced by 2,326 metric tons. The monthly energy bills reduced from 97 lakhs to 67 lakhs. The various breakups is given in the presentation. The results had recognition from various industry fraternity, including Infra and NASCOM, and RNLSE won number of awards for its approach. So I would like to now share or present the rationale why the solution to be adopted as a best practice. Number 1, it nurtured a learning curve at RNLSE admin staff. Number 2, it identified and filled the knowledge gap with admin. Number 3, it enabled the better decision making. Number 4, it supported ideas without criticizing it. Number 5, lastly, admin upkeep was attended without additional cost, and thus it became a self-sustaining model. To summarize, RNLSE evaluated the complete ecosystem of energy consumption and deployed both solutions for current and future. This was implemented with a balance between time, people, money, and ROI was of less than 12 months. Reduced power consumption to the extent of 27%. Sustained the same and thus matured itself to a benchmark company in the insurance space for optimum power consumption. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivasan, for that wonderful journey that you've taken us through. We move on to the next presentation by CIL HR Services Private Limited, Bengaluru. We have with us Mr. Aditya Narayan Mishra, Director and CEO. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good to see you and hear you.
Yeah, same here, sir. A few words for the viewers.
Yeah, I think it's like, first of all, I must compliment the efforts of RBNQA Trust for putting this virtual event together. This was to happen in March, and it has come in the month of June, sort of quickly transforming the offline event to an online event. I think a great initiative. I think at this, no time can be better than this when we are showcasing best practices across industry sectors. It's a great effort. And I'm looking forward to learning from my fellow presenters of different companies, all the best practices, and I'm sure there are opportunities to, for other industry sectors as well to learn and
Yes,
deploy.
sir.
It's a great
Yes, sir.
initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We move on to your presentation now, sir. Yeah.
Sure.
May I have the presentation of CIL HR Services Private Limited, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to present to you about a best practice that we follow in CL. As you know, CL is a company which finds talent for other companies for their permanent as well as temporary roles. CL was founded by the founders of MAFA, which was once India's largest HR services company. The company was born in 2015 with the dream, with the ambition of emerging as one of the most respected companies in the HR services space. We knew in 2015 that for us to become one of the most respected companies, we have to achieve scale. We have to be large in India. So we started thinking that how do we become large? If we have to become large, we need the right kind of systems and processes within the organization. One of those key aspects was how to manage performance, how to reward people, how to recognize people, how to make sure that we are promoting the right behaviors within the company, which is at a very large scale. So today I'm going to talk to you more about it. So we will discuss why this is a best practice, what kind of results we achieved, how we developed and deployed this performance management system as a best practice, and how we monitored it. So let me start about this PMS, performance management system. Why is it a best practice? PMS is nothing new, but it strengthens our core. So CL must be doing something which is different from the way PMS is held in other organizations. We believe that companies spend a huge amount of managerial bandwidth and time in tracking the performance of people, reviewing them. It takes so much of time that many of them don't find the time or the bandwidth to analyze the trends and spot the opportunities to improve. So, about performance boosting now takes the second priority, or they don't have the bandwidth to do this. We wanted to solve this issue because on one hand we are trying to become large, and if we want to become large, the kind of environment in which we work, which is lot uncertain, lot volatile, so PMS, performance management system, is very, very critical for us. We think the way we have done it in our organization is first in our industry, and this can be replicated across industry sectors. The same principles that we have used can be applied. The platform that we use can be customized by any other organization. The tool will help companies collate performance data, review them. Managers can actually spend time in boosting the desired behaviors in their organization. So it strengthens the core. So let me talk to you about what kind of results that we could achieve. So here are some graphs, our Jurans trilogy, if you may call so. This is how we improve the quality. These are some graphs of the KPIs or key performance indicators that we track in our company. Some of them are lead indicators, some of them are lag indicators for our business. You can see that most of them are looking up. The productivity has increased over a period of time, and hence we are able to generate greater profitability. Another set of three graphs, and this helps us grow faster. So our revenue CAGR has been quite phenomenal, industry leading, and returns of equity has been good. So the question is how we developed this best practice. As I told you some time ago that we in 2015 had the dream or ambition, and even to this date, we hold the same ambition of scale. So for achieving a large scale in our business, that time we had just 5 offices. Now we are present in some 40 locations. The plan is that we will grow into 100 offices. If that's the plan, this is the scaling that we are talking about, then how do we really achieve this? By promoting the right behaviors. So the organization values professionalism and growth. These are 2 key values within our organization. We let our members feel independent and free. We don't want to watch over their shoulders, yet there has to be a method, there has to be a rigorous implementation of that method. So the method in our company we defined, we said that, hey, this is for this role, these are the KPIs, and these KPIs need to be monitored. So CL has made sure that the team spread across India and the specialists who are located in various offices are able to work collaboratively, transparently, and objectively using this particular system. Naturally, this is an IT system, and I will talk more about it a little later in the presentation. So how we deployed this best practice? So we innovated a model called TAP, target, actuals, and pipeline. Targets are set with organization plans in mind, and then the managers discuss that with their teams. So that's the target bit. It is set once, it is reviewed from time to time, and are changed. The software is so flexible that targets can be changed in the middle of the cycle. Many organizations struggle with that. We have gotten over that challenge. Then the actuals part of it. Every role in the company has got certain KPIs. Against each KPI, based on the frequency which is assigned to that KPI, if it is weekly, the system prompts the employee to report the actuals as well as pipeline. That's our TAP, target, actuals, and pipeline. So the targets are filled once and reviewed subsequently. Actuals and pipeline are reported by the employee. The system nudges them to report, and the managers review that every week or every month or every fortnight, depending upon the frequency that is associated with that KPI. And there is a governance system. We think that it is not only the software, it is the software plus the governance system. So the governance system has been designed and supporting this management system in such a way that the CEO, right from the CEO down below to the first line of supervisor, everybody looks into these KPIs at each of their visibility and looks at what's the target, what's the actual, and what's the pipeline. Looking at that, every manager in the company is able to plan for the next period of time. It could be week, it could be month, it could be quarter, it could be half year, and so on. So how we implemented this, I think it's about the software and the governance system, which is at the heart of this. The TAP system is the foundation of this. So every week, the weekly KPIs, the system prompts people, and they need to fill the actuals and pipeline. The manager every Friday looks at them, or Saturday looks at them, and puts his or her comments. See this PMS where members don't have to wait for the end of the month or end of the quarter or end of the half year for an appraisal discussion. This is an ongoing conversation which is happening based on what's the actual and what's the pipeline against each KPI. The discussions are objective and transparent, recorded on the system. The system nudges people on every Monday morning saying that, hey, this was the target, this is the actual, this is the comment from the manager, these are the improvements that you require. Every quarter, the system again does a summary of it and sends people, encourages them to have a discussion with the manager and report to the HR. So the responsibility of doing performance appraisal is the system which nudges it, and it becomes the responsibility of the member to initiate it. So we save so much of energy, HR energy within the company in kind of chasing people, which happens in other organizations. And most importantly, we are able to spot the bright sparks and invest on them, mentor them to strengthen their strengths. And same time, we are able to see who are the people who are not able to really do it well, and hence coach them. So this is how we monitor it. So call it our endurance triology again, that the initial days we focused on one thing, which is about rollout, which means it took us 8 weeks to roll it out. Every person in the company had the role defined, the KPIs defined, targets defined, people explained how to report actuals and perform and pipeline, and how course corrections needs to be done, what kind of a modification has to be done. The focus is on improvement of performance. And then the governance system that I described at length. So Monday 10 o'clock is the kickoff meeting where the management team sits together, looks at it and plans what next has to happen. We think that this has to this is not only giving results to us as a company. Here are the results. It applies to any organization. It can work really well.
Okay. I think we are done with the presentation. Thank you so much, Mr. Mishra. We will now move on to the last presentation of the day, HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, Mumbai. We have with us presenters Mr. Lokik Korada, Manager. Hello, Lokik. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome to the session. Thank you so much for your participation. We also have with us Mr. Sudhindra Gaonkar, Manager. Hi, Sudhindra. How are you? Welcome to the session.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So we will now move on to your presentation. Yes? Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Can we have HDFC Life Insurance Company's presentation played, please?
Very good day to you all. Today, I will be speaking on how HDFC Life has achieved outstanding results by creating differentiated engagement and improving performance using SEO. Before I start off, we all would like to thank all the panelists and the team members at IMC for considering our project fit to be presented at this eminent and distinguished platform. Now, before we initiate, I would like to present some information about HDFC Life. HDFC Life is a leading long-term life insurance solutions provider in India. We've been in the business for over 20 years, and we have the highest market share, which is 21.4% in the private sector. We also have 20,000 full-time employees, and here is our vision, our values, and a snapshot of all the branches we have across India. I also would like to introduce our team here, and all these people have played a very important and pivotal role to help make our project a successful one. So, why is our project a best practice? Before I tell you why, I would like to show you a small video from one of the most renowned digital marketing experts in the industry today, the owner and founder of the site, Moz.com.
Howdy, I'm Rand Fishkin, founder and wizard of Moz. And SEO is difficult, in my opinion, because the practice combines so many unique aspects of marketing. It's creative, it's strategic, it's technical, and it's multidisciplinary, meaning that you have to talk to a lot of different departments in an organization, right? Oftentimes your engineering or web development department, your marketing team, your brand folks, your content people, anyone who's involved in product or public relations or outreach. It is a very complex set of tasks. And to top it all off, SEO changes dramatically all the time. So the fundamental best practices are often very, very similar from year to year, but there's always nuance, new additions, new opportunities, new ways that the search engines are changing up what the results look like, how you can target terms and phrases, how searches are happening, what types of results appear. This makes SEO very, very hard.
as Mr. Fishkin rightly mentioned, in SEO, there are aspects like creative, technical, strategic, and many more, which can lead to new opportunities in the SEO landscape and ultimately higher traffic. But what exactly did we do as a company to reach that goal? So we decided to adopt a simple yet powerful approach, which is known as the item model. In this model, we focused on the whole funnel and how we can capture our customers' attention from awareness all the way to action. Let me explain to you with an example. So here we have Alex, where he tries to identify his need to opt for life insurance. He speaks to his friends and tries to be more aware about what life insurance policies are present in the market. He moves on to interest. He searches for the top 10 types of life insurance policies and reads about them. He wants to compare them as well. So he reviews all of them and considers which one is the best one for him. Now that Alex knows the best policy for himself, he wants to fill up the lead form online, and he waits for the call. Once the company gives him the call, he is convinced to buy the life insurance policy, and he takes action and does so. Further on, if Alex would like to, he can do post-purchase word-of-mouth marketing. Now moving on, we need to understand what sort of keywords should we target when we focus on the item model. So we focused on awareness, interest, as well as desire and action queries. These are just some examples of all the queries that we wanted to focus on. We saw our impact through different various Google tools, and we found out that approximately we have a search volume for 2.8 million in the awareness and interest, and we have a search potential of 1.3 million for desire and action queries. So now that we knew what had to be done, we had our plan in place. We had to identify all the activities or the best practices which will help lead to our goal for creating differentiated engagement and improving performance. So all these, from preparing the site to optimization, all the way to content driven, everything are things that we have done to make sure that our customers and Google's algorithms rank our site the best of them all. So after all that work, what did we actually achieve? So we've taken the term insurance keyword as an example to present our overall impact. And as you can see, for impressions, clicks, sessions, as well as new users, we've had huge jumps all across every single aspect. Now, since our focused efforts were around targeting keywords that followed our initial item model, we've taken an example of term insurance, which is the mainstream product of any life insurance company. And as you can see, we dominated on all aspects of the item model. May that be awareness, interest, desire, or action. We were number one across them all. We also noticed that our competitors were trying to rank for featured snippets, or as they were called previously, quick answers on Google's SERP. Now, optimizing for featured snippets was not part of our initial strategy, but adaptation is very important in the world of SEO, so we decided to go for it, and we achieved results in that area as well. Here's one more example of how we optimized our articles for featured snippets. Now, we observed that what if questions had a lot of impact on all people who were searching for life insurance. So we decided to optimize our what is keywords for the same. And as you can see, impressions, clicks, sessions, and new users saw a very big increase across. We also decided to optimize our keywords for frequently asked questions, with which we garnered a lot more search engine real estate on our SERP pages. Now, what was our overall impact that we achieved through all our efforts in SEO? Well, as you can observe, may it be first position, top 5, or top 10, may it be overall or organic traffic, our numbers shot up way beyond. Now, how did all these efforts uplift our business? Well, we saw a staggering 42% increase in business leads and a humongous 36+% keywords in the top 10. Moving on, what was our development for these best practices? So while optimizing, we had to understand who are our competitors and why are they ahead of us. Once we had that in mind, we had to understand which keywords we have to go with and how we decide to bucket them. Once that was done, we decided to move on with our strategy from content to monitoring. And moving on to the deployment of our best practices and how we went through with it. Now, this was a very cross-functional project, and there were many teams involved in the project, ranging from SEO, tech, content, as well as multiple stakeholders involved. Now, coming to monitoring, how did we do that? Here are all the things that we considered while we were monitoring our own performance, from our BPM documentation and SEO SOP to SWOT analysis, all the way to staying updated with Google's algorithm changes, were all the things that we had in mind while monitoring our own performance. Here's an example of our SEO flow, our process FMEA in hand, a snapshot of our recognitions and accolades. So that's it from our side. Thank you everyone so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And stay safe. Take care.
Thank you to Lokik and Sudhindra for the wonderful presentation. This comes to the close of our session. Now we will open it up for the Q&A. The questions will be asked in the sequence of the presentations made by the judges. I now request our judges Suman Pai and Mr. Ram Patil to please come ahead in the spotlight, and we can start our interactions with the participating organizations. Hello, Ram. Yeah. And Suman. Hi, Suman. So we'll start with the interactions. From Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited. I call upon Siddhi and Pooja to please come forward. Yeah. Siddhi Varang and Pooja. Yeah. Okay. So over to the judges.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
When your audio is muted, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Mine? Hello?
Hey, Pooja, okay. Pooja. We are requesting Pooja to unmute.
Suman. Pooja, you unmute yourself. No, Suman.
I have switched off my video, but I've got my audio on. You can hear me, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
now
we
we
can
can
hear
hear you. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first question, yeah, Ram,
please.
There were two questions from the chat. The first question was from Mr. Srinivas, and his question is, my query is, what was the investment for the RPA and ROI in months? Pooja?
Yes. Siddhi, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, so the total investment which we have done in this development is 5 lakhs. And ROI is, of course, we have already done 2 FTE saving, which is on an average, it's saving more than 10 lakhs of fees. Of course, our endeavor to work on this project is more onto the scalability to manage the numbers, because now we are able to manage a high number of transactions with the same manpower, rather too less manpower in the same scalability on that. And also now we have opened store, so onto the portal integration also. So there are so many insurers who is now running their endorsement process through the self portal help thing. We are working on this also, that my bot can directly go onto the portal, log in and do the human work as well. So we have opened up that opportunity also with the same investment. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay. And the second question was, how fast can changes be implemented which may result due to customer requirement or regulatory changes?
Sure. So I will answer this question in two parts. First is, how soon can we cater to the customer request? And this is actually a very practical scenario that we go through, because on an average every month we have new customers getting onboarded, new different type of endorsement requests that we receive. Every customer comes with different levels and different types of formats. So the kind of development that we have done on the Automation Edge platform, it is so versatile that if we receive endorsements in different formats which are not as per the standard format, it doesn't take us more than 30 minutes to make those changes, because the way we have designed the entire system, it is a standard constant configurable file, and that configurable file can be changed, amended, and then the bot also has its capacity and the capability to self-learn. So then what happens is, once we make changes in the bot's framework, it is automatically able to accept them and make changes. That's point number one. Point number two is regulatory changes. Now, while, as we rightly said earlier, that we are working on one of these core processes of employee benefit servicing, you are also one of the employees of an organization. There are definitely regulatory changes coming in terms of the benefits that we receive from our Mediclaim policies that we are given by our organization. So in such case, because the entire framework, the way it is defined, any regulatory change will not take more than 2 weeks time of implementation, because every single logic in the Automation Edge platform, in the RPA coding that we have done, is done in the form of a workflow. So, and the workflow is also very structured and very clearly defined. So that makes it very easy for us to make changes, be it field level changes, which will include addition of new fields or deletion of fields, or making changes in some percentage of benefits that the customers might be seeking for. I hope I have been able to answer this question well.
Yes, to me, definitely, Pooja.
Thank you.
Ram, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I think on the, you throw some light on, you mentioned that there's a 100% bot accuracy, right?
Yes.
So will you elaborate that? Because how much time did you take to that reach, and what is the consistency of that 100% accuracy, on that? Yeah. Is it clear? Yeah.
Yes, we heard it right.
Yeah.
So yes, it's been a long journey, because we have more than 400 different customers, different companies whom we are serving the employee benefit servicing process. And this process has been live for the last 9 to 10 months. And we have been able to reach the accuracy of 100% from the bot on day one. So the accuracy will be broken into two parts. One is whether the bot has learned the logics and is it working on the logics accurately. So that accuracy, Mr. Patil, it has been there with us from day one. We have been closely monitoring the bot performance ever since we went live. We had very exhaustive UATs and SITs done, and post which we went live with key insurers and key customers. And then we went live with Pan India, as I had mentioned in my deck earlier. Second thing is that there is another process accuracy also involved. So process accuracy, as you are aware, and I'm sure you would know, that it's a journey, it's a transition which is going to be a long process. But over there also we have been able to adapt to the new changes to the process and make sure that our bots are performing at 100% accuracy. So my coding has ensured, my coding, the way in which we have designed our workflows, that has taken care of the 100% accuracy. And that is there with us from day one, and it is always being monitored, so as to make sure that we are never on a failure, because any failure in my bot performance will be a failure in my core performance. My core process will fail and it will stop. So we cannot expect the bot to give us 90% accuracy or 99% accuracy. It is always supposed to be 100% accurate in this case, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Okay.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
You have anything else,
So-
Suman?
No, I don't have any more questions.
So
Thank
I
you.
think we should move on to. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Pooja and Siddhi, thank you so much.
Pooja and
Thank you,
Siddhi,
everybody.
thank
It
you.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let's move on to Sahabav. I request Dr. Mini Panikar and Amisha to please be in the spotlight. Yes, thank you so much. Over to the judges.
Sure.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So, can I ask the question? I think
Sure.
one Mr. Srinivas CT has asked on this. Like, will the look of hotel room be claustrophobic and the feeling of home lost? How
Yeah.
do you address that?
Yes.
You got the question?
Yes, I heard it.
Yeah,
I hope I'm audible. So, well, the rooms are exactly like our home rooms because our facility is situated on the first floor of a residential building. So the sizes of the rooms are just like our own bedrooms. We own one floor of the building, which is completely the Sahabav facility is on the first floor of the same building. Now, coming to claustrophobia in the room, it doesn't happen. They're very well ventilated rooms, and the furnishing is so apt that there's no clutter around the room. There are no tables or chairs lying around for them to, so that falls are prevented. So ideally, no, it does not create any use of claustrophobia. And also that, see, anyone who is of complete health in mind and body do not come to an institute. Anyone who comes to a home has come there for assisted living. So they need support in their daily activities. And therefore, they're not very easily movable or maneuverable on their own. They have to be lifted or put on a wheelchair or at least helped with a walker and all that. So there's not enough. We have a large hall where they can walk and do the activities and do the exercises, but inside the room it's just apt like a home bedroom. I hope I've answered it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So, Mini, does that mean that you also have anti-skid tiles and all that in the rooms?
Yes, anti-skid tiling, grab bars in the rooms as well as all
the
over the
bars.
facility when they
Okay, that's good.
bathrooms, all that.
We have emergency bells also in their rooms and even in the washrooms also. So in case
Oh, lovely.
whenever they need it, we are always available.
Okay. Then the next question was from Shobha Dadlani. Is my question for Sahabav, in such a low price, you are offering premium services. How do you manage ROI? And is there some element of charity donations involved which help run this show smoothly? Very proud to see such.
That you say low price. Well, yes, we can afford to. There are different reasons for that. Well, senior citizens do not actually consume as much as you and I would if you go to a hotel. So if you go to a hotel and we would you'd put the air conditioner on all the time, you would order a lot of fancy food and all that. But senior citizens are content with very little. So which is why the services are there for them to use. They do use the air conditioners, they do order food, and we do give them all the good food that they would like to eat, which includes snacking foods, which includes ice creams and all the charts and all that, but it's all made in house. So yes, the ROI, we will meet the ROI in 3 or 4 years maximum, depending on the impact that COVID has had on us, because senior citizens are impacted with the virus spread, as you all know. So it is going to go a little slow for us now.
Thank you.
Addressing the charity and donations, we do not take any charity. I mean, as we all know, we are a private firm, and donations, we basically encourage donations in form of their time. So we tell all the people who would want to donate
Volunteer.
something, we say come and spend time with them. That is the most precious thing what senior citizens want. And apart from that, we don't even take donations in cash or anything, because we want our quality to be maintained, so we do not even encourage any materialistic donations also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Ram, any questions?
I think one question is there from Mr. Harish, I guess, right? I mean, yeah. Basically, it's on benchmarking. What makes you different from the other old age homes, and how do you use benchmarking?
Yes.
Make them different from your typical old age homes?
Yes, Ram, yes. So I told you we are a startup. We are the first premium geriatric facility within Mumbai city. Outside Mumbai city, there are a lot of nice places like ours, which are much larger facilities. But within the city, we are the only one for the one and only reason that the ambience and the services, the style in which we deliver our services is very unique. You won't find it in any other. So we had done a survey before we started off last year. And the existing old age homes are very sad places in the sense that all the beds, say, are hospital beds, white metal hospital beds. Now, if you and I are healthy, we wouldn't want to sleep on such a bed. And they have plastic chairs, and the food is mostly vegetarian, very, very basic. They have very few activities. They don't have any outdoor trips. Medical care, which is very, very important. So they have a doctor on call, but there is no nurse all the time or a doctor which will come. If they need hospitalization, then they don't handhold. They tell the relatives to come and take the person themselves. So here's where we are different. We have a nurse, and I am here as a doctor almost all the time. A nurse is there 24/7. We have an in-house lab, so we capture all the problems with high or low sugars or electrolyte imbalances immediately, and we treat it. And if we have had situations where we have taken our residents to hospitals for different various medical conditions, like even heart failures or for fevers, to take to the doctor to understand what is wrong. So CCF, yes.
Okay.
So we've had all that. Other things are, we have no visiting hours. So all other old age homes have visiting hours. They have to come back by 7 o'clock. We don't have anything like that. You can, the children can come and visit anytime they like, and the residents, if they are healthy and strong, can go out on their own and come back whenever. So it's a home. So we don't have any rules. It's a home, and that's how we do it.
I would just like to highlight a small example. So, like, we have senior citizens who are so socially active. They have their own kitty parties, and they have their own social groups to attend, like monthly visits. And we help them with our own caretakers. So they go with them, spend some 1 or 2 hours, meet their friends, meet their families, and come back to the home safe. So that's how they feel that they are so homely. They're not missing out anything in their life, even socially. So that's how it makes us different, because such kind of liberty is not given in other old age homes. They're not allowed to move out in spite of giving the consent by the family.
Lastly, but not the least, while we look after them in life, we have had deaths here. And we have surveyed, and we have found out how all religions do their last rites. So for people whose children live abroad, we have even done last rites according to their religious beliefs.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing for us. And no other place has outdoor trips. We just written down the points because we saw the questions. So yes, the outdoor trip is a very unique activity that we do.
And they're looking forward to it. With the COVID thing, they're asking us, are we going
because
out?
of the lockdown, they can't go. They're all impatient. Thank you,
Fair
Harish.
enough. Good.
Good.
Great
good.
work. Good.
Great work.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Really appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Good. Yeah. I think that's
All the
anything else,
best.
Suman?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
And Ami.
Minnie,
Thank
Ami.
you. Okay, so we move on to our next organization, Mr. Srinivasan Sethi from Reliance Nippon Insurance Company. Over to the judges. All the best, sir.
Ram, you had some questions that you had from the
Yeah.
chat group.
Yeah. I think, hello, sir. I think this question on, I think one Ravi Saini had asked on the zero water discharge, or 150 branches are relocating every year. What the feasibility fail? What is it related to? Throw some light on the zero liquid discharge.
Sure. Just for the interest of the neutral audience, there are participants from diverse industry. So just to give some very layman type of understanding, we have a combination of offices where there are around 45,000 square feet carpet area. To 1,000 square feet carpet area. We have three segments. One is the corporate offices, which is around 30 to 50,000 square feet area, and the branch offices are, except the regional offices, most of them are 1,000 square feet, and rest are around 2,500 square feet offices. What Mr. Ramswamy is saying is very material. If the consumption of water is very much concentrated in one particular place and there are large population movement. If you look at that journey we have already passed with the larger offices, our current Reliance Capital office at the Santa Cruz,
It's a LEED Gold certified office, and already zero water consumption is implemented there. But branches, no, the other dynamics comes into play. One is that do you stay in the same branch? Because as insurance is penetrating, no, you move closer to your sale or whatever happens. To give a very crude example, if Thakur village or Kandivali in Mumbai is saturated, we move to Virar. So those sort of dynamics place in insurance. Therefore, we studied initially, and that was one reason why we didn't explore from the branch. And secondly, the investment and the feasibility, right? See, the OPEX budget is handled by me. So anything to reduce in the OPEX and then invest as a CAPEX, right? That we leverage that, and that is easily approvable. Otherwise, taking this board approval, because this is highly regulated by IRDA, right? So those challenges we had, we said we will explore if we see a visibility of permanency in the branches. If a large size branches permanently visits, we will look at it. And therefore, from two reasons, from a ease of implementation and the return on investment perspective, it was dropped.
Thank you. I guess you also answered the other question already earlier, Mr. Srinivas, on using solar energy.
Yes, but in the interest of the everybody's participants, I just want to throw some light on it. One is the solar energy, right? The panels last for 25 years, and the solar cells also last for 20 years. They are absolutely fantastic. One change which has happened is what the electricity service provider used to give benefits for implementing solar energy. That's been withdrawn now. Now you no more get it. So what this has done is the investment period is pushed to 4 or 5 years. By the time your investment is breaks even and you start taking the returns back, right? The batteries fail again. You have to replace the battery. This is the practical challenge. Second challenge is if you won't implement already, which is a branch which is existing, right? You have to change the circuitry, and circuitry changing is risky, and it has to be carefully approached. This is the second challenge. Third challenge is, see, we have already rented out or leased out this property, right? To convince the landlord to give a space out on his rooftop is a challenge, which can't mitigate across the boards. Fourth is also, once we install these panels, right, you have to ensure for this 5 years or whatever period the solar panels are there, they are not obstructed by adjacent constructions, etc. So, seeing all this, right, we didn't find it as a very feasible option. Therefore, we dropped it. And again, when you come to a main place, a big, larger space like Santa Cruz, like now that's very close to the airport. The solar panels reflect air traffic, and air professionals don't approve. So only a grid-based thing you can approve, which we have done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I had just
Thank
one.
you, sir.
Yeah, I had one. I mean,
sure.
While the environment, energy, like it's like most companies, like like of your nature, are now very much into it, and going the extra mile to do. So how would all these? What is yours unique in that? Like, what's different? Because just wanted to understand from that perspective.
One of the biggest challenges now, as you go through the master, I'm very talking from a personal context. As you go through the Maslow's hierarchy, right? Once you achieve a amount of self-esteem is required and you want to contribute back, right? We start thinking and introspecting. Being in a corporate life, how can I contribute to the society? That's what forces me or charges me to get into this direction. And one of the things which I personally realize as a company also realizes, it doesn't matter what we have, it only matters what we leave. See, there are generation after us also to come in. That's the strong urge we have where we are going in this direction. So that's the urge we have, and that's the trigger point.
Okay, fair enough. Good. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivas.
So, can we move on to the next organization, judges?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. We will move on to CL HR Services Private Limited. Request Mr. Aditya Narayan Mishra to be. Thank you, sir. Over to the judges.
Okay, there were, I guess, 3 questions on the chat group. I will take the last question first because I think the first one you had answered. So what are the benefits? This is from Sharad Talwalkar. What are the benefits in terms of bottom line and top line to the management?
Yeah, so when you manage this is at the core of the organization, the performance. So many organizations are not able to really spot the pockets of inefficiency very well. By the time they spot it and they take action, they lose some time and hence some money. So it impacts the bottom line and top line. And similarly, the right behaviors, wherever it is happening, it's very important that you are able to spot them immediately and you are able to strengthen them. You are able to invest on that. I think that's what has happened in our organization, that we have been able to grow at a phenomenal pace. We are the fastest growing HR services company in India. Over the last 5 years, our CAGR is 187%. And in terms of bottom line, again, because the sorry, sorry, because the numbers are small, the percentages look very huge, but I'm deeply convinced that it will impact any organization in any sector that you are in.
So that brings me to a question then. Have you productized this TAP IT platform?
Yeah,
In the
that's
sense,
a
have you marketed it to other organizations?
Yeah, so we are an HR services company. So we have not really thought of making this as an IT product and selling in the market. But about 9 months ago, we decided that since we are seeing a lot of results for ourselves, we would make this as a platform, and we will give it as a offer this as a service, as a very exceptional situation. That work is happening right now as a product, and maybe in another 3 to 6 months time we will be able to offer this tap kind of the target actuals and pipeline, the KPI structure and all of that we have put in the system. I think we will be able to offer that to any organization, um, to use it.
Okay. Maybe you'll begin with your customers first. Huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Ram, questions? There's another question here.
Yeah, you can go
How
ahead
are,
and ask. Yeah,
yeah, are
go
your
ahead.
KPI aligned with the strategic priorities of your organization, which are set by the managers as targets? This is by Ravi Saini again.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Thanks, Mr. Shani, for this. I think it is, that's why in my presentation I said it is not only the software, it is also the governance. So aligning KPIs with the strategic objectives and then linking it with the operational KPIs for the organization, and every person having a link with one or two or three of those KPIs, some of those lead indicators leading to the final output is, I think, critical. So I believe that we have done that well in our organization. Any organization which is successful has to manage the performance in that way. The strategic goals have to be linked with the operational plans and the KPIs, and every person in the organization, their KPIs need to have a linkage with the overall tree of the organization.
Thank you. Ram, any
Yeah,
other
I
questions?
think there's one interesting question also from Shobna Dadlani. I think it's like with a daily or weekly monitoring, like it's pursued as a more of a micromanaging.
Yeah.
And a balance is important, in terms of micromanaging and, what is the benefit of this practice, so which might, this might end up creating a negative pressure on them. So how do you
Yeah.
balance that precisely?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I was trying to answer that in the chat as well. I think it's again brings to the governance aspect of it. What kind of a culture that you built in the organization? What discussions that the leaders are doing in the organization? In our talking specifically about CL, I think every year that we do the employee satisfaction studies, one of the very strong areas that our people talk about is the autonomy that we give to our people, the freedom that they get to express their opinions, and the independence that they get to do their tasks. I think this PMS, the way it is pitched by the leadership team in the organization, is this is a more as a self-monitoring tool, and It's a kind of an alert system to give you an alert that, hey, this is going well or this is not going well, which needs a modification or needs a course correction. I think it's about the way this whole system is implemented and the way it is performance is managed. I think it's all about it's a very professional approach. It's very objective. I think there was another question about how the boss and this weekly monitoring, that the boss could give a poor rating to the person. So our whole system is completely objective. It is the KPIs, so specific numbers. It's not any subjective feedback that the boss is giving. It's only on numbers. So the subjectivity is taken out to a very, very large extent. The subjectivity comes into picture only when the boss is giving a feedback about someone's future potential. So there was a question about how do you promote people. So we look at the performance dashboard that the PMS gives us, and based on those scores we give the variable pay. Based on those scores we combine the potential score and hence promote and identify high potentials and things like that. So that's the talent management part.
Fair enough. That's it. I think. Suman, anything else you have? I think
no.
We're done. Yeah.
No.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so
Mr.
much,
Mishra.
sir.
Yeah, my
thank
pleasure.
you, Mr. Mishra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we move on to our last organization in the session, HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, Mumbai. May we have Mr. Lokik Korada and Mr. Sudhindra Gaonkar in focus? Yes.
Hi.
Over to the judges. Yes.
Hi. Okay, so you all have adopted a digital strategy for increasing your business. I had one question. I haven't really looked at if there were any questions in chat. There's one thing that you are developing SEO to market your products and your insurance, and perhaps you're looking at the SEO of other insurance companies. And I have a question which asks you, are you using terms, SEO terms, by interested parties or creating or those who are wanting to learn more about your product in designing your product? So the reverse, the reverse way. So because the questions will give you what is customer's requirement. So then are you tailoring to customer requirement through your products?
Correct. Yes. So primarily our main objective is to educate the customer, because since the product that we are trying to cater to, the audience that we're trying to cater to out here, that is insurance, is a pretty difficult product to comprehend, right? So we try to understand the personas who are our customers, as well as we try and help them by giving them the right set of information pertaining to the product itself, right? One single product can have multiple dimensions of information, right? And they exhibit their queries in terms of the search keywords and what kind of questions they post to the search engine itself. We have a repository of content across minimum 900 odd pages, which systematically caters to a set of audiences which will help them take a better decision. Would that answer your question, or would you like me to go a bit deeper in that?
So I guess you've categorized your customers and then build SEO words based on the customers.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
no, understood. Great. Were there any questions, Ram, on the chat? I'm looking, but
no, not on the chat, I guess. So,
okay.
So with all your results that I had a question, like with all these results that you achieved, like now technology, everybody is scaling up technology and all. So you got some 42% increase in business leads, 36% keyword increase, and impressions and clicks. So I'm sure your competitions also will be catching up on the technology, doing what you're doing. So how do you really look at what is your strategy for addressing that, and how do you really remains kind of sustainable in this whole
Perfect. Yeah. Sorry. Can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
So predominantly majority of our competitors as well as the in digital space, majority of our digital marketers will actually try and increase the quantum of the traffic, right? For us, the traffic is important, but that is not the only main objective out here. For us, the main objective is the conversion rate.
Yeah.
If we increase the conversion rate, if we also have a marginal increase in traffic, our business will straight away double, right? So we do have a good humongous amount of increase with respect to the traffic and with respect to the real estate that we have on search engine results page. But having said that, our primary objective is conversion rate. So we have various nudges built in on our assets, there are various CRO tools that we also employ to also aid our SEO objectives out there, and also give us the right communication at the right point of time. So I'll give you an example. When the COVID lockdown happened, at that point of time, a lot of branches were shut down, and there were a lot of claims that were coming in, and we had to get the communication on very quickly, right? So we put in a communication straight up as a pop-up, if I may put that in parlance out here for the audience, that this is the numbers. You can reach out to this particular email addresses as well as the numbers, and these are various channels. And obviously, there's another link out here where you get entire information how you can go forward with the entire process of claims, of servicing your premiums, or understanding the health of your investments, so on and so forth, right? So our primary objective is to help the customers, and along the way, if we get the business, then it's a win-win for all, right?
Okay. So how big is your digital marketing team?
So we are approximately 300 odd people, including the operations department. So we predominantly are divided into two main business units. That is the partnership and aggregator team, and the self-source channel or the proprietary business channel, which is where we are sitting at this stage. And obviously, the operation team consists of the underwriting team, the medical team, and the entire insurance process team, as well as the call center team, who are the consumer-facing arm of us, right? So we all work in tandem. We all work towards one goal, that is service the customer towards the right product that they need, not the product that they don't need, as well as ensure that it persists with us. So because as insurance is a business, it is imperative that the customer persists with us as well as continues the journey with us for a long time, right? That is a way it is beneficial for both the customers as well as for us.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Ram, any more questions?
No, that's it. That's it. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so
Kopate
much.
and Gaukar.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Pleasure.
we now, thank you. We now come to the conclusion of the session, and we request our judges to move to the breakout rooms for their final convergence on the scores and recognitions. They'll take around 10 minutes or so. May I request the judges to move forward? And Natasha?
Yes, ma'am.
They have moved into the breakout room, right?
Yes, they have.
Okay. So we now have time for a very short poll on how you have, what is your feedback on the session that has just concluded. Detailed feedback form has already been sent to you, and we request you to fill that too for an elaborate feedback for us for further improvements. However, this quick poll will just take not more than a minute of your time, and we will conclude it and show you the results. Natasha, yes. Here I would request that once you select your response, please go down to the bottom of the page. There's a submit button. You can press the submit button to send in your response. Thank you so much. Natasha, how is it going?
We are still waiting a few more people to respond.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can share it now.
Okay, great. So Natasha is ready with the response. Wow, excellent with 81.8% and good is 18.2%. Thank you so much. It really helps us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Natasha, for that. In the meanwhile, at least a 10-minute session. Yeah, I would like to introduce you to, some of you may have heard this announcement of the initiative Excellence in Crisis, but for those who have not been in the sessions so far conducted, there's some good news from the R. Ramakrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trust. This is with the discussions that emanated from the newly constituted awards committee under the chairmanship of Mr. Suresh Lula. We have in the committee Umesh Dand, Suman Pai, and Johnson George, who are our examiners and faculty. The discussion ensued as to what different we need to do and what it will be to excite organizations to take part in our process. And coming from Suman Pai, she just said that let's understand or celebrate the success stories of organizations who have managed a lot of challenging situations in this pandemic space, and how best they have been able to execute certain activities of their organization and come out as winners in this challenging time. So what did the leadership guide, and how was the workforce managed, and how was resources captured and used absolutely efficiently. So all those things can be captured with the innovative methods in which you have brought in the performance in upfront for your organization and the outcomes of absolutely. So this Excellence in Crisis is a very easy celebratory kind of initiative wherein we want to capture the success stories of organization, and it's just simple 5 parameters on which you need to respond. In a 30 up to 30 pages you can use for your submission. You can look at our website, the details are also there, and you can give me a call also to understand it better on 989-2616-193. The submission entry is free, and you can have as many number of submissions as you need. Shortlisted organizations, however, when they reach the near final stage of participation, will need to have a fee paid of rupees 10,000. Yeah, so that is the, I think there were some announcements happening about judges coming, so we're waiting for their announcements. So you can the submissions, as I mentioned, is free, and right up to the final presentation stage is a 10,000 participation fee that will be allocated. By July 24th, we would be requiring your submission. It's across sectors, be it your education, healthcare, service, manufacturing, NGOs. Everybody is welcome, and you will be just needing to fulfill those 5 parameters. The awards would be presented in 3 categories. They are called the Crisis Superheroes, Innovating During a Crisis, and Learning from a Crisis. As I said, the submissions should reach us by the 24th of July. The team of examiners from the IMC RBNQ pool or the fraternity of examiners would be assessing the submissions, after which it will be placed before a panel of judges consisting of eminent personalities and industry experts, education, healthcare, across the business and service industry. So we'll have a fine mix of eminent jurists who will be finally announcing the awards. And we picked up the date of 14th of August, just before Independence Day. So a celebratory kind of feeling can be generated, and we can look forward to a better performance coming in the coming months and year. There will be a specially designed program which will also be conducted online, and that is a date we will be sharing with you once we get down into the participation space. So pick up your thinking caps and capture your moments of glory and submit to us the up to 30 page report, and let us just understand what good organizations have been doing in this difficult scenario. So we look forward to your submissions. Thank you. Yeah, so let us now understand what's happening in the breakout room. Natasha? Hello?
May I just another 1 minute or so?
Okay, no problem. So yes, it has been a good number of presentations that happened, and I'm sure that judges are finding it difficult to capture the winning organizations. Everybody did a fantastic job. And thank you so much for also, once again, all the participating organizations have made tremendous effort to make their final submissions, because each one is working in their own constraining environments and challenging times. So we truly appreciate the participation that has happened. So yes. And let me also share with you, we had 41 organizations for pre-COVID situation, and we have still managed to retain that number. So that's the reason why we thank all organizations for their enthusiastic participation. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the judges have come to the final decision. May I request Suman Pai and Mr. Ram Patil to announce the winners. Hello. Suman, I think we can't hear her.
Unmute. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So thank you all, presenters. Excellent job. Okay. And all best practices were related to their mission. And it was really difficult. I mean, considering, and even when you think about it, there were 3 insurance companies with different best practices, ranging from best practices of their process to digital marketing to environment sustainability. And then Sabha was an absolutely unique concept. So congratulations to all of you. But we have to choose winners. So here is, so our second runner-up for this competition is Sahabhav.
Wow, congratulations to the team at Sahabhav. Absolutely brilliant work.
Congratulations, Dr. Mini and Ami.
Congratulations, Sahabhav team.
Yeah, so let's give them a virtual hand clap. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Our second runner, our first runner-up is Aditya, ABDIL, Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited.
Lovely. Congratulations to the team at
Congratulations,
Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited, for having won the first runner-up certificate. Congratulations.
And the winners of the trophy are HDFC.
Wow.
HDFC Life Insurance Company.
Very big clapping for HDFC Life
Congratulations
Insurance.
to HDFC Life Insurance team.
Congratulations.
Yes. The HDFC Life Insurance Company Limited, Mumbai, wins the MQH trophy in the service category. May I request Lokik and Sudhindra to give their reaction to this winning moment?
Yeah, we're absolutely elated.
Congratulations. Yeah, good job, and I think you absolutely deserve it, and very all the best for absolutely great future endeavors. Yeah.
Adding to my
Yeah, please let us know your response, both of you.
We are affiliated with the IMC RPNQ for years, and in 2013 we won the IMC RPN award.
Yeah.
we have started the journey way of excellence in each and every aspect of our business. So this is one of the encouragement and good thing that we have come up with this competition and winning this award with this competition.
Okay,
As
great.
well as our customers to serve better. So thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Congratulations. Congratulations and all the best. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So thank you, Suman and Ms. Ram, for your wonderful support and a great assessment for the final recognitions for our
It was a pleasure.
organization.
Thank you so much.
Thank
But
you.
I
Thank
must
you.
add that these 2 days, after the lockdown, I mean, the long lockdown, these 2 days have been really the most value adding since the lockdown.
Oh, lovely. Lovely to
Plus
hear.
really telling you that it's like a rejuvenating. I think I really appreciate all the efforts that you guys have put in as a team. Fantastic.
Thank you.
And I think you all deserve a big applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the team, I thank all of you and for the encouraging words. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So we now conclude the session on service category for today, and we will look forward to having you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the education category session 6. So see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you all viewers also. Yeah.